More fun. I don't know if you want me to make a statement or just field questions, but it was a lot better. It was a hard game. I loved how they kept fighting. We had some rough patches in that deal. We had a lot. We had Brandon Hymus was in there. We had Decker in there, Connor Young, Klassen, Gabe Ron. Guys, I don't know how many recognizable names for some people. So, but they just fought and kept playing. It was good stuff.
How do you think Tanner handled that whole series of? He was booed for a while, and he came in, and then.
Yeah, he had he had the interception on the route to JD, and it wasn't going very well for us. And I think that he's a tough kid. I think he just fought through it, kept playing. Try to settle him down a little bit and make some throws, and he did that. We had a couple quick hitters, and I thought he responded well. It's not easy. The kid is doing his best, and just to have to kind of go through that. But I thought he responded great, came back, made plays, managed the clock great, got us in a couple of different run situations that were key, and finished it off for us, really.
What went into the decision to give Devine the ball as much as you guys did today?
He had a good week. Last couple of weeks we had predetermined that going in. We wanted to make sure both of them were fresh. We didn't want to not play him just because he is deserving of playing, and he kind of got a hot hand there. We got Jalen a couple carries. We just wanted to make sure that group, we were doing it right, making sure that looking at everybody, seeing if they could provide a spark, and then kind of riding the hot hand.
How did you assess Brendan Hymus' first start?
I thought it was pretty good. He gave up a hit on one of the third downs that he got beat on. But I thought he stepped in there and played pretty well. And like I said, we had Hymus and Decker in there, kind of two new faces in the line. We had to use the whole stable of receivers. I mean, everybody that we had, we were pushing them in there with not having Stan and Reimers at the beginning of the game, and kind of a game-time decision. So we weren't scrambling, but we were playing some guys that hadn't probably played as much as you'd like them to. But they handled that well. I don't think our timing was great in the passing game. We probably had an opportunity for a touchdown and missed one, but that's going to happen a little bit with some new faces, and the fact that we were able to run, kept pounding them. I thought covering them up, that was a big part of our game and our plan. And the fact that we were able to do that, I think we went from a couple yards of carry last week. I think this was something like 4 yards, which is really critical in a conference opponent, and all those things, being able to do that. And it was critical for us today.
Center is kind of a tricky position to replace with all the communication. How did you think Decker?
I thought he played well. I think it's especially in a 3-4 with a guy on his nose and having to snap and have to block a guy, really singled up a lot of times. I thought he did very well.
Coach, the long passing game, the deep passing game, a problem as much for the receivers getting some separation as
yeah, I think getting open and beating press and man coverage is something that we have to keep working against, and I don't think we were at full strength, but we also need to create some separation. I think some of the bootleg that we had was really covered up. I thought Gabe Ron came free on a nice go route that he won on the play. We didn't finish the play and score, but we do have to be able to get some separation downfield and get some openings to be able to throw it in there.
After this whole week, how do you think your line responded?
I thought they bounced back well. I think the challenge was definitely there to protect better, to be able to run the ball successfully and consistently. I thought that they showed up. I thought they responded great. I'm sure they've taken a beating, and I was just proud that they were able to come back, especially with some new faces, and continue to grind it out.
overall, how proud are you of your players, the way they focus, even with all the distractions that happen?
I was really pleased. I thought it was a tough, gritty effort. You know, we weren't great in some areas. We got to throw the ball a little better than we did, but we were tough and gritty in the run game, and we protected better. And I think those things were they were critical for us. I thought that third down was better. I think we were close to 50% there. And those statistics will win you the games. The third down conversions, running, success running the ball. We still have too many turnovers. You know, the 2 interceptions are costly, and we put the ball on the ground one time. That could have been a very critical play that we've got to do a better job securing the ball late in the game especially. But I think you can point to those statistics often, how well you run, how many turnovers you have, how you do on third down, how are you in the red zone, and it's pretty much the same every week. It's, you know, if you win on those categories, you probably win. If you don't, you probably lose. So we've really focused on those situational football statistics, and we were good at that today.
Do you have to pare things down when you're dealing with this many new faces?
Oh yeah, yes, we have. You know, I think you saw a lot of repeat in the run game, and that can work against you because they know it's coming too. But at the same time, you've got some people that haven't had a lot of reps, and to be able to, you know, just think you're going to put a bunch of stuff in and handle it and execute it very well it's not going to work very well. So we definitely have had that thought and making sure that we were, you know, not overloading anybody.
Did Devon show you guys anything different in practice this week? Or?
No, I think it's been building. I think he's had a really I think after we got into the season, especially that first week, I think he really ran hard. I thought he just showed us some more consistency in practice, and I think that, like I said, he was deserving of playing in this game, and I think he carried that practice effort into the game. I thought he ran hard. He ran tough. You know, he made a couple guys miss him, and then ran a couple over too. So I thought he was kind of like we had seen in practice. He's coming along and doing a nice job. Really showed up today.
Is that kind of a testament to the message you guys as coaches send when guys continue to work? You know, he hadn't played much the first couple of games.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the other thing is kind of the next man up mentality. You know, we didn't make a big deal about who was in there, and no one cares anyway. It just sounds like an excuse. So we played those guys and had confidence in them, and I thought they showed up and played well. So that's encouraging to our depth. I think it's just something that we can build on and have, you know, more game experience with guys. You can feel good about rolling some people in and playing more and building depth on your team.
With the week that you guys had from, you know, the loss in Northern Illinois and the change with at athletic director, that was hard to say, on Thursday, how do you focus a team with so much going on sort of around them?
Well, I think we tried our best to kind of put the blinders on and put our heads down and go to work, and that was really our message from even the end of the game last week. You know, it wasn't going to be pretty. I think these kids, you know, nowadays with the social media, they're going to deal with some stuff. And it happens to every program. After losses, they got to be mentally tough and you know, stay off it, and know, trust, and believe in what we're doing, and you know, just keep fighting through it. I think that the outside world and the distractions, if they can limit that, they are just going to live a happier life and be able to bounce back and play better.
For Tanner, is it in the early going there, is it a rhythm thing, or did you feel like you got him in a pretty good one today? Or
yeah, a little bit here and there, and then you know, I think we just have had some of the interception stuff. You know, it can be attributed to a lot of different things, and I think that the pick six was really a you know, bad timing and an unfortunate deal. I think he is definitely, like most quarterbacks, a guy that needs to get into a rhythm, needs to feel comfortable with those completions that he's found, and then kind of go from there. And we want to be able to push the ball down the field. We want to hit it short. We've got to have that vertical and the horizontal passing game, and we're kind of sporadic there. So I think getting him in those rhythms is big, just like any quarterback. And then we've got to find a way to cut down interceptions. We've got to not put him in a situation 3rd and long, and he's got to feel like he's forcing the ball. I got to help him with that, and not put him in those situations that maybe are a little more risky. I think that probably, you know, running a vertical there on that situation. That was probably not as good a move, good a call, and I can do a better job with that with him. So just getting him, calmed down or really confident, I think from the get-go will be important as we go forward.
You talked about the vertical on that second interception.
Yeah. It's a 4 verticals. He's got a good coverage for it. I think he didn't see a safety spin down. He told me on the headphones. The guy that picked it off, he didn't see him. It's a kind of a deal where we've got to be able to see the rotation of the coverage a little bit better, and they had a kind of a quarters look that spun out of it, and he didn't see it. The guy buzzed him and picked it off. So, they're kind of bang plays. There's some information to gather pre-snap, and then at the post-snap is critical too.
Was that a tough call into the wind?
I don't think the wind was a factor, and I don't think the wind was a factor. I think it was, it was a 3rd and long, and they're trying to get a first down. It's 3rd and 9 or something, and you get forced into those long yardage situations, and you got a choice to, catch and run for it or try to push it for a first down. So it's, it's a play in the game that we got to be able to execute or check it down and catch it underneath and run it.
Did Devine show you something over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Just in his approach?
Yeah, better practice and running hard. I thought he gave us a lot of good work, really from kind of the start of the season, and he's deserved to get in there and play. And we had felt like that all kind of early in the week. We needed to get him in, so we had a prescribed rotation and put him in there. And I thought he ran well, ran hard. Had a couple plays for Jalen to get him going. So I was pleased with the whole backfield.
Is Trey close?
I don't know.
As part of the timing with the wide receivers, is that just because of all the new faces you guys had in there?
Yeah,
he doesn't have that chemistry.
There's definitely you've got to build that, and we've just had some new faces in there. Some guys that we weren't sure about Stan or Reimers until pregame. So you're definitely playing with some different faces that are going to affect your timing a little bit. But I thought they went in and played well. I thought Gabe did some nice stuff. Unfortunate on the one vertical that he had that he told me in the locker room probably should have had it, but I thought those guys filled in pretty well, especially with all the new faces that we had all over the place.
Tanner comes